48 hours ago, my family cut me out of their lives. 24 hours ago, my lawyer called. 12 hours ago, I read my grandfather's will. Right now, I'm standing at their door with keys in my hand. Because this house is now mine, and they have no idea. I'm Emma. I'm 25 years old, and this is the story of how an adopted daughter faced the family that rejected her with $1 million inheritance. If you've ever felt worthless by your own family, this story will give you hope. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, because the ending of this story will shock everyone. It all started when I was adopted at age 3. When Michael and Sarah Williams adopted me, they had no children of their own. But when I turned 5, a miracle happened. Mom got pregnant. And that's when everything changed. It started with small differences. More attention to the new baby, less time for me. Emma, be quiet. Your brother is sleeping, became part of my daily life. Then my older brother Jake was born. Then my youngest sister Ashley. And I always remained the adopted one. As a child, you don't notice. You don't realize that birthday gifts are a little cheaper, participation in school activities a little less, that you sometimes end up outside the frame in family photos. You think all of this is normal, until age 16. That day, Dad sat me down and told me the truth. Emma, you're grown up now. You need to know some things. You're not our biological daughter. We adopted you, but that doesn't mean we love you any less. Of course it did. It became even more apparent during my college years. No expense was spared for Jake's education, while there was constant talk about budget for me. While Ashley got everything she wanted, I worked part-time jobs. Don't forget you're adopted, was my mother's favorite weapon. But there was one person in the story who always treated me differently. My grandfather, Robert Williams. My dad's father, Grandpa, was a powerful businessman. Famous in the real estate sector in Dallas, he was one of the city's biggest contractors. But more importantly, he never looked at me as adopted. My Emma, he would say to me, you're the smartest girl in this family. You're going places. Grandpa would spend special time with me. He would take me to his company, explain how he ran the business. He didn't spend such time with Jake and Ashley. Their minds don't work for this business, he would say. When he learned I was studying business in college, he was very happy. Look, that's my smart girl. You understand these things. After graduation, I had interned at Grandpa's company. What I learned there would save my life in the future, but I didn't know it at the time. Grandpa passed away 2 years ago. I cried the most at his funeral, because he was the only family member who truly loved me. 48 hours ago, my family decided to humiliate me one last time. It all started because of Jake's engagement. They were planning a big organization, and everyone had to contribute. Of course, my share was more than others, because I don't have children, my expenses are low, they thought. Emma, your contribution will be $15,000, Mom said on the phone. Mom, that's too much. I'm unemployed right now, about to start a new job, I said. It was true. I had quit my old job because I was experiencing mobbing. I was going to start a new job, but hadn't received my salary yet. We can get the adoption rejection papers, Mom said coldly. This hurt me deeply, but worse was coming. That evening, there was a family meeting. Me, Jake, Ashley, Mom and Dad. Engagement expenses were being discussed. Emma has money problems, Mom said. I think we should really consider adoption rejection. What do you mean? I asked. Dad spoke. Emma, you're 25 years old now. You should stand on your own feet. You're becoming a burden for us. A burden? I never asked you for anything. You did, Jake said. You constantly want attention. You want love. You're not our real daughter. Ashley added, Yes, Emma, you're adopted. You should accept this reality and move away. That moment, my heart broke. Mom took out papers showing adoption rejection from the table. "We've already prepared these. You just need to sign." "What if I don't sign?" "Then we'll exclude you from the family anyway," Dad said. "The choice is yours." That night, I signed those papers in tears. After 22 years, I was officially no longer part of the Williams family. As I left the house, Mom delivered the final blow. "Don't show your face around here again. You're no longer our daughter." The next morning, early, an unknown number called. "Miss Emma, this is attorney David Thompson. I'm the lawyer for the late Robert Williams." Grandpa's lawyer. My heart raced. "I urgently need to meet with you. There are important matters regarding the will." "But Grandpa died 2 years ago. Wasn't the will read then?" "No, Miss Emma. Robert had a special will. It was to be opened when you turned 25. Yesterday was your birthday, wasn't it?" "Yes, yesterday's family meeting was also my birthday, but no one had congratulated me." "Can you come to my office today?" "This is very important." 2 hours later, I'm at the lawyer's office. David Thompson is across from me, holding a sealed envelope. "Miss Emma, your late grandfather loved you very much, and he left you a big surprise." He opened the envelope. The document that came out shocked me. Robert Williams' sole heir is his granddaughter Emma. All his assets, company shares, and real estate belong to her. My eyes couldn't leave the paper. "How much?" I asked in a trembling voice. "Total value approximately $50 million. Plus, 80% of the company is now yours." The world was spinning around me. But why me? "What about Jake and Ashley?" David Thompson smiled. In his will, it says, "My only true granddaughter is Emma. She is the only person who understands my values, is hardworking and honest. Blood ties don't matter, heart ties do. I leave all my wealth to Emma because she deserves it." "Is this real?" I asked, still not believing. "Completely real. And there's one more detail." David Thompson pulled out another document. "The house your family lives in also belongs to you. Your grandfather secretly bought that house 5 years ago, but they thought they were homeowners. In reality, they were tenants." Shock upon shock. So the people who kicked you out of the house are actually your tenants. And as of today, they're not paying rent. That night, I couldn't sleep. I started making thousands of plans in my head. How would I approach my family this morning? Should I tell them the truth right away or wait a bit? Then an idea came to mind. Jake's engagement was in 3 days. The whole family, relatives, family friends would be there. It would be a perfect stage. But first, I had to do a few things. First, I called David Thompson. "Attorney, I want to immediately terminate the tenancy situation in the house." "Of course, Emma. How much notice are you giving?" 24 hours. Silence. "Legally, you need to give at least 30 days notice, but... There are certain clauses in the rental agreement. If they don't pay rent or show disrespect to the landlord, they can be evicted immediately." "Would yesterday's treatment count as disrespect?" "Absolutely, even more than that." Second, I called my old workplace. My boss, Jessica, had fired my old manager, Jason, who was mobbing me and was trying to call me back. But now, I had other plans. "Jessica, this is Emma. I'm going to take over my grandfather's company. Williams Construction is now under my control. Would you like to discuss business partnership?" I could feel Jessica's surprise over the phone. "Emma, are you... really?" "Monday morning. You call me." Third, I called my old college friend Madison. She was an event planner and was organizing Jake's engagement. "Madison, you're organizing Jake Williams' engagement, right?" "Yes, Emma, but you're not invited." "I'm calling to discuss that. I'm Jake's sister, and I want to make a surprise speech." "Absolutely. Family speeches are always so emotional." If she only knew how emotional it would be. Finally, I called my grandfather's former partner, Henry Miller. He knew everything about me. "Emma, finally you called. Robert had very special plans for you." "Uncle Henry, can you help me? My family rejected me, but tomorrow, I want to show them the truth." Henry laughed. Robert foresaw this. He said, "If Emma ever sees the family's true face, support her." "What can I do?" "Would you be at Jake's engagement tomorrow? And can you bring Williams Construction's most important clients with you?" "Of course. This is going to be very entertaining." And here I am now, waiting at my family's door. I have keys and an eviction notice in my hand. Instead of knocking, I turned the key and went inside. This is my house now. "Hello, family," I said, entering through the living room door. My mom, Sarah, stood up in shock. "Emma, what are you doing here? We told you never to come again." "Technically," I said, putting the eviction notice on the table, "I'm your landlord, and you're no longer tenants." My dad, Michael, looked at the paper. His face turned white as chalk. "What does this mean?" Jake asked. "This means that as of today, you're evicted from this house," I said calmly. "You have 24 hours. Ashley still didn't understand. "Emma, what are you saying? Have you gone crazy?" "No, Ashley, I just learned the truth. This house belongs to Grandpa, and he left it to me, along with all his wealth." Silence. "Impossible," Mom said. "Robert never mentioned it." "Because I had to wait until I turned 25. Yesterday, I turned 25. Today, I met with the lawyer. And right now," I smiled, "I'm the owner of a $50 million inheritance." The sound of Jake standing up was audible. $50 million? Plus 80% of Williams Construction. Mom collapsed into a chair. But you're adopted. You can't inherit." Grandpa wrote in his will, "Blood ties don't matter, heart ties do. Emma is my only true granddaughter." Dad stood up angrily. "This isn't fair. We are his real family." "Real family," I said, raising my voice. "Does real family reject each other? Does real family not even congratulate on birthdays? Does real family say, 'You're no longer our daughter'?" No one could answer. "Now," I said, taking out my phone, "let's talk about Jake's engagement." 3 days later, Jake's engagement was being held at Dallas's most expensive hotel. 200-person guest list, $50,000 budget, of course with my money. But they didn't know this yet. Madison had done a perfect job. Decoration, food, music, everything was flawless. The family was proudly welcoming guests. Jake and his fiancée Rebecca were flying with happiness. Henry Miller came, bringing Williams Construction's biggest clients. Margaret Patterson, CEO of Patterson Holdings. Robert Davidson, owner of Davidson Development. "Emma," Henry said, hugging me, "are you ready?" "I've never been more ready." Madison went on stage. "Now, we have a very special guest. Jake's sister Emma wants to say a few words for her brother." I went on stage amid applause. I could see the worry on my mom Sarah's face. My dad Michael looked tense. Jake was smiling and applauding me, unaware of anything. "Thank you," I said, taking the microphone. "Being here tonight is very special." From the back of the hall, Henry Miller and other businessmen were watching me supportively. "Jake and I have a complicated relationship. Actually, I have a complicated relationship with my whole family." The hall quieted. "You know, sometimes being family requires much more than blood ties. It requires love, respect, acceptance." The worry on my parents' faces was increasing. 3 days ago, this family rejected me. Because I'm adopted, they said, "You're no longer a real Williams." Being abandoned by your family at 25, it's a difficult experience. Murmurs came from the hall. The guests were shocked. "But," I said, smiling, "sometimes life gives you surprises." Attorney David Thompson emerged from the back of the hall, documents in hand. "Tonight, I want to share the truth with you. 3 days ago, my grandfather Robert Williams's secret will was opened. The smile on Jake's face disappeared. In this will, I learned that Grandpa left me all his wealth, $50 million inheritance, 80% of Williams Construction Company, and I paused to increase the effect. The house the Williams family lives in. The hall fell silent like a bomb had exploded. Margaret Patterson stood up. Emma, are you the new owner of Williams Construction? Yes, Margaret, and we'll have our first business meeting Monday morning. Robert Davidson also stood up. Congratulations, Emma. Your grandfather's choice was very right. My mom Sarah had collapsed in her chair. My dad Michael had turned red and pale, not knowing what to say. Jake, I said, turning to my brother, I wish you and Rebecca happiness, and since I paid for this engagement party bill, I hope it's enjoyable. Jake's mouth hung open. You paid? From the Williams Construction account. Technically my money. Henry Miller approached the stage. Emma, would you like to read your grandfather's words? Of course, Uncle Henry. I approached the microphone and read Grandpa's letter. Dear Emma, if you're reading this letter, it means you've turned 25 and seen the family's true face. I love you very much, and you are my only true granddaughter. Blood ties don't matter, heart ties do. You deserve this money, this company, because you are hardworking, honest, and never look down on others. Use this inheritance with pride. Your loving grandfather, Robert Williams. The hall was thundering with applause. While guests were giving standing ovation, Margaret Patterson requested the microphone on stage. I am the CEO of Patterson Holdings. We would be proud to work with Emma Williams. She's not just an heir, but also a Princeton business graduate and a very talented businesswoman. Robert Davidson added, as Davidson Development, we're ready to sign a 10-year agreement with Williams Construction under Emma's leadership. At this point, Jake couldn't stand it. He ran to the stage. Emma, wait! This is a misunderstanding. We never rejected you. Really, Jake? I took out my phone. I recorded. Ashley's voice echoed from the phone. Yes, Emma, you're adopted. You should accept this reality and move away. Then Mom's voice. Don't show your face around here again. You're no longer our daughter. The hall murmured angrily. Jake's face turned bright red. Rebecca was looking at her fiancé in shock. Emma? Rebecca said. Is this real? Did they really reject you from adoption? The papers are with David Thompson, I said. Legal. Rebecca turned to Jake. What kind of family is this? How can you reject your own sister? Reb, you don't understand. No, Jake, I understand very well. You abandoned Emma with your family because she was having money problems. Rebecca took off her engagement ring. This engagement is canceled. And she left the hall. After the engagement party dispersed, the family cornered me. Emma, please, Mom said, crying. We made a mistake. Can you forgive us? She can't forgive, Ashley said. Do you think you'll come back to us just because you became a millionaire? Ashley, my mom Sarah snapped, shut up. No, Mom, I won't shut up. Emma was always like this, always trying to get attention. Now she's getting attention with money. Attention? I said calmly. Ashley, I never asked you for anything. All I wanted was to be loved by my family. My dad Michael spoke. Emma, we made a mistake, but we want you back. Do you want me or my money? Silence. There's your answer, I said. David Thompson gave you an eviction notice. You have 30 days. The house is mine, the company is mine, the money is mine, and this will be the last favor I do for you. Are you going to throw us out on the street? Jake asked. No, Jake, I'm offering you another option. Everyone listened carefully. There are positions at Williams Construction. Jake, you understand construction engineering? I can give you a junior position. Ashley, you studied marketing. I can give you an assistant position. Mom, Dad, I can give you consultant roles too. What are the conditions? Dad asked. Simple. You will respect me. You will never call me adopted. You will apologize for the mistakes you made in the past. And most importantly, I paused. Most importantly, I'm the boss in this company. I make the decisions. If you can't accept these, you can go your own way. Mom was crying with sobs. Emma, I'm so sorry. We made a huge mistake. Jake bowed his head. I apologize too, Emma. I never supported you. Ashley was still stubborn. I won't apologize. You're still adopted. Okay, Ashley, I said. Then you're not included in this offer. You can go your own way. What do you mean, my own way? No job, no house, no family support. Exactly what you did to me 3 days ago. Ashley's face turned pale. This isn't fair. Life isn't fair, Ashley. You taught me that. 6 months later, Williams Construction was stronger than ever. Jake was really a good engineer, and after apologizing, he was trying to be a big brother. Mom and Dad were useful as consultants, and their behavior towards me had completely changed. Ashley had moved to another city. She still hadn't apologized. I was now sitting in Grandpa's old office. His photo was on the desk. I thanked him every day. Henry Miller knocked on the door. Emma, the signatures for the Peterson project are ready. Great Uncle Henry, with this project, Williams Construction will become Dallas's biggest contractor. Your grandfather would be very proud. I know. That evening, on my way home, the phone rang. An unknown number. Is this Emma Williams? Yes, this is Emma. This is Rebecca, Jake's ex-fiancée. Can we talk? I met with Rebecca. After breaking up with Jake, she had told Emma's story to everyone around her. Now she wanted to work at the company Emma founded. Emma, after seeing how Jake's family behaved that night, I realized I couldn't marry him. But you're so strong. I want to work with you. Rebecca, how do you feel about Jake? Nothing anymore. That family affected me too. You gave them a second chance, but I can't. Rebecca became Williams Construction's new marketing director, and she was very successful. Today, I'm 30 years old. Williams Construction is now one of Texas's largest construction companies. We have 500 employees, offices in 10 different cities. Jake works with me and now acts like a real big brother. Mom and Dad admitted their mistakes and changed. Ashley is still proud and distant, but most importantly, I now know who I am. I'm Emma Williams, not adopted, but an heir. Not rejected, but loved. Not belittled, but respected. Grandpa was right. Blood ties don't matter, heart ties do. And my heart is now full of people I chose. If you've ever felt worthless by your family, remember, your true value isn't in others' eyes, but in the strength in your own heart. Sometimes life gives us second chances. Sometimes we give ourselves second chances. If this story gave you hope, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Share your own stories in the comments. Have you ever experienced something like this? In the next video, I'll share another powerful story with you. Until then, remember, you're worth much more than you think.